Good evening, everyone. Welcome to my class. Welcome to the summary analysis of the subject sociology, where I'm covering religion society, that is unit 8 of paper 1, that comes under fundamentals of sociology. So today's lesson, I'm going to explain to you all about the psychological or the emotional theories of religion in everything in detail. So this is the syllabus as prescribed by the UPSC. Just to go on for a recap, my previous lesson I explained to you all about the ghost theory, the animistic theory and the mana theory. Today's lesson, this is a picture of Malinowski, which I'm going to explain to you all about when I'm doing the emotional stress theory. Today's lesson, I'm going to explain to you all the psychological theories of religion, that is the emotional stress theory, and the naturalism or the nature myth theory. So coming back to the psychological theories or the emotional theories, now why it is called the psychological or the emotional theories of religion is for the very reason because the focus now, these theories are based on the different mental states of the human beings. It could be fear, it could be anxiety, or it could be the emotional stress that they are going through depending on the situation they face when they are in the society. So now that is the reason why this is named as psychological or the emotional theories of religion. Because if you see, even Sigmund Freud, the great psychologist, he also considered religion as a result of guilt. So you had many people who tried to use this emotional features to try and understand what is the concept or what is the theory of religion. Malinowski gave the theory based on emotional stress, which I'm going to explain to you in my next lesson. Now this one, the emotional stress theory, it was given by Bronislaw Malinowski. Now this man, he was one of the most important 20th century anthropologists. In fact, he's also called the father of anthropology. He gave tremendous contribution and a great supporter to participant observation. Now he's also known for the contributions. What you going to study now about the emotional stress theory is the result of the participant observation which he did when he stayed with the natives of the Trebrand Island, which is off the west coast of Guinea, where he conducted his field work, and it gave a remarkable contribution to what was religion to these natives. Now this place, and this is can see here, this is the man Malinowski with the natives of these Trebrand Islands. I mean, they're all primitive people. This Trebrand Islands, it is in the South Pacific near New Guinea. He did a 4-year, research, or you can say in the form of participant observation. Now, what is participant observation? This participant observation, I'm sure all students of sociology will all be knowing, but let me just explain to you. Participant observation is when here you have this person, anthropologists usually do that, living with the people. Here, Malinowski was staying with this natives of these Trebrand Islands. He was living with these people. He studied. This anthropologist in this type of field work, he wants to know everything about the natives, their lifestyles, how they view at life, their religion, their superstition, what is their, if they fall sick, how do they address that issues, family life, community, kinship, all this is something he wants to study. This is where Malinowski stayed with these natives. He got to know about the people's life through social interactions associated, how he got to know so much about them through social interactions, about magic, religion, all this, trade, everything. In this type of participant observation, it is conducted in where the person goes to the the natives place, stays with them, and he in fact he participates in all the what can I say, jobs which these natives do. It could be hunting, fishing, ceremonies, rituals, and he writes down everything on a piece of paper. This is participant observation, and this is what Malinowski did. He studied these natives through the social interactions, and he came up with this emotional stress theory about how did this religion come about. He developed this theory of religion based on his observations. Then, based on the observations, he came up with two main functions of religion. What were the two main functions for these natives? The main function of the main function of the religion, he noted, was religion helped these people to deal with the society issues, like especially when it came up to the emotional stress issues. The main function was to help the individuals and the society deal with the emotional stresses that occur during the various phases of life, like crisis. It could be at the time of birth, puberty, marriage, and death. Of all these things, death is the one that is the most disruptive to any person, because here what happens, you have one person who's with you, a part and parcel, suddenly passes away. It shakes the whole social system. It changes the whole system, like. And more than that, you need to understand, these natives, they all live like a community. So during that phase, during the death of one particular person, this religion was the one that, they used it to cling on. Like, how did they do it? Because death was something that was very, very disruptive, because it removes a member from the fabric of the society. So it creates a sort of tension, emotional loss. Now, the death of a person, the close members, it really affects the person who are very close to the person who's passed away. He or she is not able to function properly, not to bear the loss. Now it is during this time the religion deals with the problem of the dead through beliefs and rituals. So naturally, when a person is dead, they used to have a whole lot of rituals, beliefs. So where everybody came together, so when all the members of that particular group or the natives came together, it gave a sort of solace or comfortness to the closed ones who had lost their member. Maybe they would try and comfort the person, give solace to them. So, and this was also the funeral ceremony, also a chance for the for comfort for the bereaved family members, because there were everyone coming there, comforting them. They were doing the rituals for the soul to be happy. This was one. Funeral was like an expression of social solidarity, which served to there was so much of discomfort, binded everyone. Apart from that one, there was also another function that was there to deal with the situations or create, which cannot be, they clinged on to religion when in situations where they felt where it cannot be controlled, or things cannot be predicted. They used in such kind of, when was it that one? Like these people, they undertook two types of fishing. One type of fishing was done in the, you can say, in the inland waters, which was not, it was okay, it was not safe, it was not people not were worried, they used to go do their fishing. Whereas there was another type of fishing where the fish went out fishing out in the ocean. During that time, during this type of fishing, that is fishing out in the ocean, required them to go to catch fish in the ocean, and there was no certainty they would catch the fish. And not only that one, there was no certainty they would all even come alive. It was all depend on luck. So in case there was this danger of death that was hanging around them. So before they went out for fishing in the ocean, they did a lot of rituals were performed for the safe return. So you see here, so they believed in religion in situations where they felt things were not under their control. So this was something they depended on nature, you can say they depended on religion for for their you can say to give them that energy, to give them comfort level. Now this is the picture to show you how he's working with these tribe and islanders. Like Durkheim, Malinowski also said that the religion was to reinforce. It's a sort like, it gave a social solidarity religion, but at the same time, do you remember Durkheim said that religion is something like as if when you're worshiping the society, which he did not agree to that one. He did not agree to them, because he said that religion was something, it had just more of a specific function, reinforcing solidarity in times of emotional stress that threaten or undermine the stability of the thing. The next one is the naturism or the nature myth theory that was given by Max Muller. This Max Muller was a German scholar, very well versed in the Vedas, and he was a great Sanskrit scholar also. Now, naturalism means the belief in the forces of nature that have supernatural power. Like how I said, there are some invisible forces also which have so much of power. This primitive meant for him, the nature was something, it was surprise, horror, it would take him by surprise, there would be something which he wouldn't have expected. So they felt that. So naturism means believes in the forces of nature. This was the earliest form of religion actually, where they had started worshipping the objects of nature. Now this was because they felt that they started putting life to the lifeless things, because these lifeless things also had so much of power, they could even cause so much of destruction. So they started worshipping them so that these nature forces would not get angry with them. Now say for example, the sun rises, the plants breed fruits, the thunder gives rain, the trees bear fruits, medicines. Remember, all these people are primitive people. So this is something where they felt this gives so much to them. At the same time, it might get angry with them. So they said, okay, they advocate that ancestor cult is also derived from this nature cult, where they started worshipping the ancestors. Man was very apprehensive about his dead ancestors. He started worshipping them, thinking that the spirits should be happy, should not trouble them. The same way, even the ancestor is derived. It's a derived worship of nature worship, where they started worshipping the nature, because these forces were something that control everyone. Even now you see how is the nature playing with us? The floods everywhere in India. So naturism is a man's response to the effect of power and wonder nature upon the thing. Nature. So here they gave so much of importance. They were even considered as gods to them. Now why I put up this picture is, even in the Vedas, in the Hinduism, you have various gods that has been given the status of the nature. For you have the Indra, then you have Indra who's the Lord fire, then you have the Surya Bhagavan of Surya, then you have rain god. Even now, if you must be seeing in many states when there are no rain, you have so many pujas that are performed to the rain god, so that the state witnesses rain. So this is this is the equation, how these people started equating these nature forces to God. They felt that we need to keep them happy, because anything excess in nature is going to create damage. Excess rain is going to create damage. Less rain is also going to create damage. So how do we keep them happy? By worshipping them, by giving them these forces, life to these forces, because they are very powerful sources. So this is the end of my lesson, where I've completed the evolution theory of religion. My next lesson, I'm going to discuss the criticisms that were meted upon which many scholars spoke about the evolution theory of religion. Great pleasure teaching you guys. Request you all to do a short review, share my course with your friends, and follow me in an academy, so you'll come to know when I upload another lesson. Thank you very much, and see you in my next